on the Bofors debate. Ram Jethmalani, he knows Bofors inside out. The man who sent those 10 questions a day to Rajiv Gandhi. Ram Jethmalani, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Ravi Shankar Prasad, National Chief Spokesperson and former Union Minister of the BJP. Dr. Subramanian Swamy, President of the Janata Party, now with the NDA. Dr. Ajay Kumar is a Member of Parliament, former IPS officer. Vinod Mehta, Editor-in-Chief of the Outlook magazine. Rashid Kidwai, Senior Journalist from Telegraph. My first question is to Mr. Ram Jethmalani. Mr. Jethmalani, what do you make of these stunning revelations of Mr. Lindstrom, which suggest that our investigations could have potentially been an absolute joke?
Now listen, first of all, the events of those years today are out of my mind. But Chitra is a very reputed journalist and I have tremendous respect for her. Some story has appeared in the morning papers. Frankly, I have not read it because I read most of the papers at night after I am free from my court work and my conferences. Now, all that I can tell you is that the Bofors case was never properly investigated. It was not investigated because the investigating agencies were not honest enough, and therefore the truth has not come out so far as the Indian people are concerned. And I am not speaking as a lawyer, but I am speaking as a common man of the country. On the first statement that Mr. Rajiv Gandhi made, when the radio people there broke this story, I would convict him on that statement alone. His statement was that this is a statement which is made to destabilize my government. Now, why has the government of that country or anybody in that country any motivation for destabilizing Mr. Rajiv Gandhi's government in this country? A false answer, such a kind of an irresponsible answer, is often the greatest circumstantial evidence of what the truth is. And I have always believed that they were guilty, Katrochi was guilty, and therefore, according to me, even Sonia was guilty.
No.
They are all guilty. They are still today not disclosing to us the accounts and the figures in the accounts held in foreign banks.
But Mr.
I have no doubt whatsoever that the government of this country is not interested in disclosing the truth.
Mr. Jethmalani.
And the truth can't be revealed merely by these kind of interviews which are being held.
But
today.
Mr. Jethmalani, the truth has
a matter of deep regret that the nation has been regularly defrauded right from those
Mr. Jethmalani.
It continues to be still.
Mr. Jethmalani, I know you have to go, but I must follow up with this with you. You were at the forefront of the Bofors campaign, weren't you? When the scandal broke out in the late 80s, Ram Jethmalani famously put
everything that I said during those days.
No, but no, you famously put in 10 questions every day for Rajiv Gandhi to answer. Our journalistic history remembers the 10 questions you put out every day. But when you were law minister, once Vajpayee came to power, you were law minister, there was no breakthrough at that time either. What happened? You had your opportunity.
You can't start fresh investigations. You don't know the legal proceedings and the legal limitations. A new government can't just start investigating an old offence and procure new evidence. It will be immediately accused of witch hunting. It will be immediately accused of dishonesty. And it does not serve any purpose after the main actors are all gone.
Was Lindstrom ever asked by your government when you were a minister to come out with this?
Katrochi was in custody and subjected to what you call custodial interrogation, the truth can never be discovered.
Mr. Jethmalani, 1 second. I want a reaction on that from Subramanian Swamy, who has also been, if there are some
people... Please, you can ask him, but you know, my problem is that your time was 9 to 9:15
I take 3 minutes.
The other channel
I can take 3 minutes. I can take 3 minutes from Mr. Jethmalani so that you hear Subramanian Swamy's response. Then we are going to Ravi Shankar Prasad.
Don't worry about it. I will not contradict Subramanian Swamy.
No, you can. There is no limitation on that. At least Subramanian Swamy.
No, I won't. But you know,
Subramanian Swamy.
I'm so sorry. I'm short of time because other channel people, their time was 9:15 to 9:30. They are waiting here and cursing me.
Okay. Some
Please excuse me.
Okay, Mr. Jethmalani, Subramanian Swamy, you buy that? You buy that, Subramanian Swamy? What Ram Jethmalani said. What do you make of what Chitra's interview has today for us?
Well, Ram Jethmalani didn't say anything wrong. He said that it hasn't been properly investigated. I fully agree with that. And I think the more important thing is that we all now can zero in on Mr. Quattrochi, because there's evidence clearly that he is involved. In 1993, the Swiss authorities very categorically, authoritatively said that Quattrochi was a recipient, and on that basis he ran away from India, and how it was facilitated is another matter. Then he was in Malaysia. There was an extradition proceedings that failed, and one needs to know why. And finally in Argentina. So I think much like the Americans hunted down Osama bin Laden for different reasons, with different consequences, I think Mr. Quattrochi should be hunted down.
But he wasn't hunted down?
Brought here to justice.
But he wasn't.
His son is regularly here. He's doing more or less business on the behalf of his father.
So he wasn't hunted down.
So I think we have to concentrate on Mr. Quattrochi.
Oh yeah, fine, sure, we have to. Now first of all, I don't want to only recriminate about the past. I want to ask Ravi Shankar Prasad. Mr. Prasad, you were also minister in the NDA government. Now, Sten Lindstrom had sought permission from the Indian government at various points of time for permission to investigate. The Congress government did let him do that. What did your government do, sir? Was there some kind of hand-in-glove arrangement between the NDA and the Congress? Please don't take that. Otherwise, I'm asking that question in the context of your very aggressive comment at the press conference today on Bofors. Mr. Prasad.
It will be aggressive even with you, Arnav Goswami.
Yes, sir.
You are factually absolutely incorrect.
I take that.
Mr. VP Singh's government was for 10 to 11 months. And thereafter, Narasimha Rao, Deve Gowda, Gujral, this whole government was there. Congress was supporting, and no action was allowed to be taken in the whole process of Bofors scandal. Mr. Bajpayee in 1996 was only for 13 days. He came back to power in 1998 for 1 year, and 1999 to 2004. The charge sheet was filed for the first time. Mr. Rajiv Gandhi was shown as dead. Mr. Quattrochi was there, and others were there. Delhi High Court twice, in a very spurious judgment, quashed the charge sheet. We travelled to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court twice passed strictures against the Delhi High Court and asked the matter to be reheard again. The third time, again Delhi High Court quashed it, and when we had to go to Supreme Court, we had already recommended for that. We went out of power, and the Congress government thereafter 2004 did not do anything. Two instances. Mr. Hansraj Bharadwaj became the law minister. The first statement he's made, Quattrochi is being framed. I will give justice to him. You recall, a Government of India law officer goes to London on a spurious legal advice under Hansraj Bharadwaj mandate and gets the account defreezed of Quattrochi in a London bank upon the ground that there is no case pending against him, which was not a fact. 30 crore rupees of taxpayers' money was released. Therefore, we have been prosecuting it.
1 minute, sir.
What happened
in 2007, George Fernandez said in an interview that he was asked, please allow me, sir, that George Fernandez said in an interview he was asked by Vajpayee not to touch the Bofors file. He did a U-turn after that, after BJP members, I'm sure including you, publicly questioned him. But this, along with Subramanian Swamy's claims that the NDA refused Lindstrom request to mention certain politicians, raises a lot of questions about the BJP's intentions. I am looking forward, I'm not looking back, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, but what has happened in the past can't be covered up.
Arnav Goswami, I want to refute very clearly and categorically. Mr. George Fernandez never made a statement like that. Had it been there, there would have been big hangama, including on your channel, in your previous avatar on different channels. Therefore, don't raise questions which are factually not correct.
Sir, he was quoted as saying...
what?
No, sir. Sir, he was quoted as saying he did a U-turn. I also mentioned he did a U-turn.
No,
but he was quoted as saying...
Therefore, if someone was wrongly quoting it, he clarified it, he never said like that. But the issue of moment today is the interview by the police officer who was the chief of Swedish police, Mr. Lindstrom, to a very eminent journalist, Chitra Subramanian, what he has stated is very clear and categorical that Martin Odobo, the MD of Bofors, was very apprehensive in his notes that Q name should never be revealed because Q was very close to Rajiv Gandhi. And the series of instances detailed thereafter, the entire government of India, whenever Congress was there in power, was out to secure, bail out his involvement. Why? Why was Kotrochi so important? That's the question I'm asking.
Sure.
And therefore we have said that the manner in which the CBI people investigated and gave a closure report in spite of all the evidence, where Dr. Swamy is also saying their role needs to be investigated, under whose pressure they gave a collusive closure report. There is no evidence against Kotrochi. That is the important point.
I think Rashid Kidwai disagrees with you. He's violently nodding his head. Go ahead, Rashid. Yeah. Go ahead, rebut Ravi Shankar Prasad, because I know you've been wanting to.
I was very carefully listening to all of them, and I was quite dismayed to see these former law ministers and legal experts who are talking so recklessly. The fact of the matter is that, legally this case is closed, and this is one man's version. There is nothing that, as a fresh evidence that has come. And it seems that the Swedish police chief's knowledge of Indian political system is also very limited.
No, one second.
He could not find a person like L.K. Advani and others to share the vital information, and he sat for all these years, and now he's coming up. Tomorrow, former CBI director Joginder Singh writes his mobile, so
yes,
he writes something.
Yes, why should we not?
There will be something, so it's one man's version.
This is not one man. He's the former chief investigator in the Bofors case. I'm sorry, you're trying to downplay it, Rashid. This is not one man. Subramanian Swamy, you want to rebut that?
It's not a question
Subramanian Swamy?
It is that.
Subramanian Swamy is responding.
Yes, I do.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think you see, the thing is that ascribing motives is very easy. After all, we can say Mr. Kidwai is a biographer of Sonia Gandhi, a very laudatory biography is written, so he is bound to say these things. The fact of the matter is there is no such thing as a closed case permanently in any court. New evidence comes. There is new evidence. Here is the investigating officer saying that I was not allowed to question Ms. Sonia Gandhi and Kotrochi. I was not given any cooperation. I must tell you that George Fernandez had in fact received a letter. I think Jaya Jaitley has published it in our magazine, The Other Side or something that magazine is called. And it has been for a long time this has been pending. The government ought to act on it, and therefore I have given a 120-page complaint to the CBI asking them to reopen the case. They have not yet replied. I will probably in July go to the courts and get it reopened.
Reopen or don't reopen, Vinod Mehta? Reopen or not reopen? Mr. Mehta, would you like to see the case reopened, as Subramanian Swamy wants?
Well, I think, the case should be reopened, and what is quite clear is that this so-called clinching evidence has been lying in Sweden, and nobody has been interested in looking at it. Now, the fact of the matter remains that whether it's the BJP government or the Congress government, nobody was seriously interested in cleaning up this mess of Bofors. And you must remember that there were three sets of middlemen in Bofors, not just Kotrochi. There was a gentleman called Vin Chadda, and there were the Hinduja brothers. Now, the Hinduja brothers' godfather was Mr. Vajpayee. Mr. Vajpayee wrote a very interesting letter to Prime Minister Narasimha Rao saying that please go easy on these people. So our conclusion must be that VP Singh government, BJP government and Congress governments have not been interested in investigating this properly, and they have made sure that Kotrochi goes away, but the other
again the name of Mr. Vajpayee is coming up. I put it across to Ravi Shankar Prasad, who raised his hand the moment you put the name out. Now Mr. Vajpayee, it's not just Mr. Vajpayee, by the way. In 89 to 91, if I am not mistaken, the United National Front government at that time also had BJP support. Anyway, let's look at the Vajpayee angle. You wanted to respond to Vinod Mehta.
And Mr. VP Singh used to say he has names in his pocket.
Okay, let Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad respond now, Rashid. Yes.
Arnav, I very emphatically deny the sweeping allegations of Mr. Mehta against Mr. Bajpai, our eminent leader, who is now
These are not allegations.
Well. It is utterly irresponsible for... Mr. Mehta, please wait for your turn, please. I didn't interrupt you. Please wait for your turn. I was a minister in Bajpai government, and Bajpai's impartiality is evident. When a charge sheet was filed in the year 99, Hindujas were named as accused in that case. Mr. Mehta, do your homework well before making sweeping allegations. Mr. Hindujas went to Delhi High Court along with Kotroki.
Let him complete.
I am very sorry, a senior journalist like you have made a sweeping comment like this without proper homework, and I take a strong offence to that. Now the charge sheet, please wait for your turn. The charge sheet contained the names of Hindujas. Hindujas goes to Delhi High Court in a questionable judgment that was quashed. The government of India of Mr. Bajpai goes to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court passes a stricture against Delhi High Court and restores the matter of fresh hearing. Again, the second thing happened again, that no documents were given. Again, the Supreme Court passes a strict charge sheet. Mr. Hinduja, if Mr. Bajpai was soft on Hinduja, and Mr. Vinod Mehta said, sorry, Mr. Mehta, during his prime ministership, Hindujas were named as accused in the charge sheet. Please do your homework well before making all these kinds of sweeping allegations.
No, 1 second. He's responding back to you, Ravi Shankar Prasad.
He says, for that.
Ravi Shankar Prasad, Mr. Mehta has the right to rebut you because he's saying today that the letter of Mr. Vajpayee to Mr. Narasimha Rao was a matter of record, and Subramanian Swamy has been quoted. He can deny it right now on the show.
Arnav, I'm sorry for interrupting. Arnav, I'm sorry for interrupting. When Bajpayee was the Prime Minister, Hindujas were made accused in the charge sheet or not?
Sir,
that shows the conduct of Bajpayee.
Subramanian Swamy
has got it wrong.
Subramanian Swamy has
when
told
Bajpayee wrote the letter, he was not Prime Minister.
Subramanian Swamy has been quoted as saying that he has in his possession a letter which Lindstrom had written to Defence Minister George Fernandes while the NDA alliance was in power, seeking permission to question at that point of time Sonia Gandhi, but the Indian government refused to grant Lindstrom's request. Now Mr. Subramanian Swamy can either take that back. He can either take that back or say that what he...
My reply is very simple, Arnav Goswami.
Falsely quoted.
Arnav Goswami, can I come in here?
No. You see, I don't have to say anything because all you have to do is read Jaya Jaitley's edited other side. The letter is there and it is dated 1998. Now, the issue is not today whether A did the work or B did the work. The question is now Mr. Lindstrom has come and said something. Why should we shy away from reopening the case against Mr. Quattrochi? Everybody, including Mr. Kidwai, should be supportive. That let's track Mr. Quattrochi and get to him. And in custodial interrogation of Mr. Quattrochi, he'll spill the beans.
I don't know.
That is why perhaps there is so much panic about letting Mr. Quattrochi run away.
No, I began saying that truth is not time-bound. Rashid, you have a right to respond, but Dr. Ajay Kumar has been wanting to come into the debate. Ajay Kumar, please come in, and then we open this up. Yes, Ajay.
Arnav, this is actually like the theatre of the absurd, because you see, at the end of the day, throughout this investigation, what comes out is one of the worst, shoddiest investigation in the history of, any country. And irrespective of whoever is in power. So what has happened, we divert attention, we continuously, look at, keep making allegations, and fine, there is, but just to look at the situation today, that some Indian investigator went to Sweden, made an allegation against Mr. Bachchan, and today, after 25 years, we pay the price. So first question is, the country has suffered enough of shoddy, poor, abysmal investigation levels, and who is accountable for that?
No, 1 second. I think you're taking one side of the story, Ajay Kumar. If you've read that interview, then Sten Lindstrom actually says that the Indian investigators did not meet their Swedish counterparts despite a request from the Swedish investigators. What it proves is that the CBI at that point of time was under immense pressure not to get to the root of the scandal. There was an attempt to protect Quattrochi, and getting to the bottom of the investigation would jeopardize that.
No, I'm with you.
So then why are you saying don't reopen it?
Let's go. No, I'm saying the question is go after Quattrochi. I'm saying that the question the country needs to understand is, why is it that we suffer to have such pathetic level of investigation repeatedly and
because
no
of political pressure,
unearthed at all?
Because of political pressure.
Exactly. So isn't it? So isn't it high time that you have an investigative agency which has been and we continuously pay this price? You know, you will have these debates every time because you never have an investigative agency which is independent.
No. If there were, let's get to the heart of the matter. If there were no political payoffs, why was there a massive cover-up? If there were no payoffs, then why was Quattrocchi being paid by Bofors? What services was Quattrocchi following?
One sec, the political payoff was across all political parties. So the question is, why don't we understand that the issue is bad, non-independent investigative agency, and the country will continuously pay the price, and we will continuously have these vociferous debates till we have an independent investigative agency, which none of us are ready for.
One second.
We want to manipulate the CBI.
Let me tell you the facts, Ajay. Yes.
No.
Subramanian Swamy.
Arnab, you see...
Hello.
Subramanian Swamy,
yes,
go on.
I would say that if there is court monitoring, which is a recent invention of the Supreme Court, of the CBI, this CBI has enough talent to get to the bottom of it. I have seen the CBI in action when it is court monitored and when it's on its own. And I think, therefore, it's no use blaming the CBI. The selection process produces some of the best people in it, but they have to be assured that they will not be persecuted in their career if they went after the real culprits, and that's why the court monitoring becomes important.
But the court monitoring is not a solution, a permanent solution. How much can a court monitor? You see, so you need a firewall with...
No, but on Bofors it is. It is not on Bofors it is.
I'm saying...
We are not asking for every crime.
I'm saying tonight, I think one point is true. The role of all political parties, because Sten Lindstrom not just wrote to Defense Minister George Fernandes, but he had also written to the then CBI Director Mr. Katre in 1987 or 1988, seeking the CBI's help in the Bofors investigation. At that point of time, and I can be corrected by Subramanian Swamy if I am wrong, the CBI was told by the DOPT that since there is a JPC constituted, JPC should be allowed to investigate. It only proves...
That's right.
that there was a concentrated attempt to cover up Bofors and protect Ottavio Quattrocchi. And if Lindstrom's talking about that, Mr. Mehta, let's all open it up. Rashid Kedwai, it's going to have to be opened up. Whatever you may say.
There are 2-3 things.
Whatever you may say, it's going to have to be opened up.
Arnab.
Yes, Rashid.
Arnab, you see, first of all, there is a need for sweeping judicial reforms. Bofors is just one case. But this denial of justice, delay of justice, limitation being used as...
You're generalizing.
All these things
You're generalizing, Rashid.
Bofors is not the only case.
Rashid, you're generalizing.
Okay. No. Let me come. And Bofors, politically, Congress has paid very heavy price for it. Not in one election, but successive elections. And under Sonia Gandhi's leadership, Congress has won in 2004 and 2009.
No, but that is your judgment.
People are aware of it. There is a... that's the legal side of it, and there is a political side of it.
So what are you saying? Are you saying the Congress has paid the price? Are you saying in your view the Congress party has paid the price and hence, let's not do anything to embarrass anybody anymore? I want Ravi Shankar Prasad clearly. Mr. Prasad...
If people of India if Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad can convince, if Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad and his party can convince, Congress will continue to pay a
I don't know.
What I'm saying is, this case has taken a legal course. This case has taken a political course. Judgments have been delivered.
Does Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, can he say tonight on the news that the BJP will not make this a one-day campaign? That you intend to follow this through?
Arnav.
Yes, sir.
Arnav, first of all, I would like to make one point in lighter vein. I'm sure there could have been a better serious issue from the Congress side on this program as far as this debate is concerned.
We asked.
Now, two issues on facts. Arnav. In 89, when VP Singh government came to power, it was there for 10-11 months. There was a team went to Sweden, interrogatories were sent, letter interrogatories were sent. They were meeting with the Swedish official there, you will all know it. Thereafter, it went out of power, rest is too well known. When a charge sheet is filed or no, charge sheet leads to the opening of trial. And in the trial, all those things would have come about, which you just ask a question. But as far as the charge sheet itself was quashed by the Delhi High Court on a spurious ground, leading to stricture by Supreme Court, those are well known. Therefore, there were two fronts. Prohibit the BJP government from prosecuting the trial in spite of filing of charge sheet, and when BJP is out of power, abuse the authority of the government of the day to secure relief for Quattrocchi.
Sir, you will again say I'm going into the past. You'll again say I'm going into the past. But I must say that the Malaysian courts refused to extradite Quattrochi during your tenure.
Yes, and what happened? You are right.
What did you do?
The Malaysian court Malaysian, we went to appeal. The Malaysian court judgment went by the quashing. That's the point. And we said the matter is pending in the Supreme Court.
Mr.
Malaysian courts, I'm sorry to say, just one thing more I must conclude here, because the matter has come today because of this interview. Today it is very important that the role of the CBI officers who investigated this case
100%.
and filed a collusive closure report in the CBI court.
100%.
There is no evidence against Quattrochi. Their role needs to be investigated.
Well, I don't know.
That is indeed very important.
Sir,
under whose pressure you gave this report?
So I don't know why.
In spite of voluminous evidence evident on record.
Well, times
pressure.
now.
I'm not looking forward.
No, one sec. Vinod Mehta's rebut first. Mr. Mehta.
Arnab,
Yes, sir. Go on.
Arnab, it's quite clear that there were three sets of people who got kickbacks. The BJP is interested on zeroing on Quattrochi only, because Quattrochi then links them to Tan Janpat. I have no problem. Please investigate Quattrochi. But who are the godfathers of the other two people who also got kickbacks? The Hinduja brothers and something else. Who are the allegedly got? And when I said that Mr. Vajpayee had written a letter, he was not Prime Minister then, he was just a Member of Parliament. That letter is a matter of record.
Again, I'm sorry for interrupting, Mr. Mehta. You are a senior journalist. Stop Vajpayee baiting. I condemn you for that. In Vajpayee government, charge sheet was filed against Hindujas. You know that, but you are not saying that. Therefore, you are making cooked-up story to denigrate Mr. Vajpayee, and that is one thing for which I condemn you again, though you are a senior journalist. This shows you are biased. Please, for heaven's sake, stop that. Mr. Vajpayee was the Prime Minister. He allowed a fair investigation, and Hindujas were named as accused in the charge sheet. You are glossing over that.
Member of Parliament then.
Yes.
1 minute. Mr. Mehta.
Therefore, that is the past. But when he became a Prime Minister, he shows fair investigation. That you are glossing over. That shows your bias. For heaven's sake, don't show your bias like this against the leader of the stature of Mr. Vajpayee, which I am sorry to say is regrettable, and I again condemn you for that.
Third time you've been condemned. Third time you've been condemned by Mr. Ravi Shankar.
He deserves to be condemned.
Third time
no one has talked, I am sorry or no, I am a little pained today. No one has talked like this sweeping comment which Mr. Mehta has made on national television. Therefore, he deserves condemnation. And I am sure the people who are watching would equally say like that.
Well, you have a right to condemn him. He has a right to defend himself. I leave it to between the both of you.
Yes.
My only question tonight is simply this. That 1 second. No, Ajay, we cannot say today that 25 years have passed. Can we please move on?
No,
I mean, 25 years later, we have been told that we have been fooled all this time.
New generation has come.
No, new generation has come. Should we forget that one generation was fooled by investigators?
No. There is need for reforms.
Not reforms. This case.
Different fields have struck the manner in which they are negotiating.
Again, you're generalizing.
The political class has not opened up.
No, again, you're generalizing.
I'm not generalizing. I'm making. No. There is the case of judicial reforms. The reforms cannot be just economic reforms.
I am not talking judicial reforms. I am talking Bofors case. Ajay.
One sec. Arnab, what I'm saying is, like Mr. Subramanian Swamy said correctly, that it is critically important, so why don't you get it court monitored, go after Quattrochi. The question again is the history of, the CBI in this case in investigation is awful. We need to find out who was, under pressure, like Mr. Vinod Mehta said, get it court monitored and go after Mr. Quattrochi. But let's not throw allegations, so I'm not saying you walk away from Quattrochi. You get it court monitored. That's a very good suggestion from Mr. Subramanian Swamy. I think that makes sense.
I think last word to Mr. Subramanian Swamy.
Worked under BJP for 6 years.
Last word to Mr. Subramanian Swamy, please.
Well,
who seems to be having some documents in the story. Yes.
First of all, I think, I'd like to put a little perspective on Mr. Amitabh Bachchan making out how unfair the system was. Frankly, he should have recalled the fact that he had approached Mr. Chandrasekhar, that his brother Ajitab was unfairly prosecuted by Mr. VP Singh, and the matter was, Mr. Chandrasekhar asked me to look at the file. I found, yes, he had been framed in a house purchase matter, which doesn't really, he was not guilty of, and therefore I withdrew the case despite the CBI vociferously opposing it. So there were correctives that were possible, and at that time what happened was that even on the question of Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, I had never at any stage said that he took the money. But the fact is that there was a cover-up. And the cover-up, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi participated just like Mr. Manmohan Singh has participated in the 2G spectrum. We have to get to the bottom of it. And the Congress party should, if they have nothing to hide, they have nothing to fear, they should support it. Absolutely. Say, yes, we want to reopen the case and let there be court monitoring. But they are not doing that.
Reopen it. And let's have a debate on this, on whether it should be reopened. Let's get a Congress spokesperson next time as well. Now, I want to end this with a big friendly thank you to everyone, including my very esteemed Ravi Shankar Prasad, Vinod Mehta, both gentlemen very angry with each other today, condemning each other, Ajay Kumar, Subramanian Swamy, and Rashid Kidwai. Everyone smiling. That never happens on News Hour. That's a record. Thank you very much for joining me on that News Hour chat.